Production funding and educational outreach for BizKids is provided by a coalition of America's credit unions, where people are worth more than money. A complete list of individual credit union funders is available at wxxi.org.
Every day, America's credit unions help members with their financial needs and with programs like Invest in America. It's only fitting that credit unions support BizKids because financial education is what we do. Learn more at lovemycreditunion.org.
Hey baby, what's up? What's wrong?
Yesterday, I gave you 5 Zula nuts. Today, I see none.
But I get 5 every week. What's the problem?
This is an allowance. It is a chance for you to learn how to manage your money.
But if I get it every week...
Not for long. If you do not learn financial discipline, allowance will stop.
Okay, well, it was just for 1 week, and I've got a lot of time. Besides, they were delicious.
Delicious?
Oh, yeah.
You ate them?
Yeah?
You do not eat Zula nuts.
What?
I hear my dragon. Got to go train him.
Oh, this is not good.
When making money is the aim, these kids, they bring their game. They're the BizKids.
Can you dig it?
They know what's up and let you know just how to make that dough. They're the BizKids. So learn a little more about bringing money through the door. They're the BizKids.
Right on. Brought to you by your allowance. Don't blow it.
Do you get an allowance? Like, do your parents give you money at the end of every week or month or whenever?
Is it enough? Do you wish your allowance was maybe a little bit bigger?
For a lot of kids, having a regular allowance is a chance to learn both good and bad money habits. Habits that can last a lifetime.
And when it comes to allowance, every family does it differently.
Now, some kids get an allowance for doing their chores.
Some just get an allowance.
And some get no allowance at all.
Disregardless of how you get your allowance, the important thing is how you use it. I just said disregardless, didn't I?
Yeah.
That's not a word.
No. Allowance is also a great way to teach you how to manage your money while you're still young.
It's like having training wheels while riding down the financial road.
Sure. Having an allowance is a great way to learn how to spend, save, and share your money.
Like what happens when you spend all of your allowance on one thing.
I spent my allowance on this sweet new bike.
Like a bicycle.
It also teaches you how to share with those who are less fortunate.
Maybe I'll share my sweet new writing skills.
Oh, looks like the good old riding out of frame and destroying your bike trick.
Is that blood?
Hi, I'm Ryan. And I'm Nathan. And we're BizKids.
The way I earn money is through my allowance, which is $10 a week.
Oh man, you're sucking us dry.
My paper route, which I get about $11 a week, and extra chores that I do around the house.
I'm learning some kind of lesson here. I don't know what it is, but it's some kind of lesson.
On the weekends, I ref soccer to get a little extra money. Our allowance isn't tied to chores. We get an allowance to learn how to manage money. Everything you see here, including the excellent clothes I bought with my own money.
I could easily negotiate for more money in my allowance, no problem.
I don't think so.
I usually save my money into 3 things. Alright, so first we have my investing money, my college fund money, and my spending money. Investing to kids, I think, can sometimes be a scary word because it seems like one of those, adult terms.
Investing is where you put some of your money away into stock markets, mutual funds, things that can grow over time.
Investing is like savings, but at a higher interest rate. It's riskier.
My first investment was in Chipotle. I love me some Chipotle. Then it went up a lot, so I sold off some of it and put that money into Costco. I like the free samples. I have also invested in the Index 500 mutual fund.
When my savings gets up to a certain point, I end up putting a lot of it into mutual funds or the stock market. People my age tend to think of it as something that they're not into or they shouldn't be dealing with right now, where it actually should be the contrary, where they should be starting early and getting ahead.
I recently bought a mountain bike for $350 and I had to save up my paper route money for around 8 months to buy it. But now I have a brand new mountain bike.
Oh, sorry.
I haven't saved my allowance for a while because most of it goes towards my gas money.
I'd spend about $150 a month, fill up 3 times, each time about $50. And I get most of my money from my savings, actually. Unfortunately, those continually are becoming depleted. But I also get a lot of money from my parents paying me for driving my brother to school in the morning. Plus I have kids that I pick up in the morning and bring home that also pay money, but a lot of it's out of my pocket as well. No one gets in the car with bare feet.
Saving your allowance has been good in the past for me because by saving my allowance, I've been able to afford a car.
This is my grandmother Mimi, and she's helped me raise funds by matching me dollar for dollar for my car.
That's how I roll.
I think having an allowance has taught me great money management skills that will be with me for the rest of my life.
Hey biz kid, learn how to save and invest part of your allowance.
I'll be back. We'll save your allowance.
Do your chores, don't sit and bicker with your mom and dad. Do your chores, get them done, and no one gets mad.
Welcome back to our Big Biz movie, Cash of the Titans.
Zeus, your son Hercules is on hold.
Probably wants money. Thank you, Aphrodite.
You're welcome.
Hey, Dad, what's going on?
Hello, son.
So listen, Dad. I need some money.
We have been through this before. You still haven't completed any of the tasks I've given you.
But, Dad...
No buts about it. If you want your allowance, you've got to complete all 12 tasks.
That is so messed up! Poseidon never makes Polyphemus kill Krakens or Medusas for his allowance.
Well, maybe, but that's not the way we do things in our family. Maybe that's the way they do things in their family, but that's not us.
Come on, Dad. All the other gods...
I don't care what all the other gods do with their kids. You're the son of the king of the gods, okay? I don't want you to grow up without a personal and financial sense of responsibility.
But, Dad...
Now, I don't want to hear it. If you want your allowance, you've got to start toiling. It's almost noon. You still have time to obtain the girdle of the Queen of the Amazon, steal the apples of Hesperides, and clean the Augean stables.
All right.
Thank you. I'll call you tomorrow and see you all.
Bye.
When it comes to allowance, the first thing most kids want to do is spend it. And there's nothing wrong with spending it. That's one of the 3 things you can do with an allowance.
Save, spend, share.
Right, and just make sure you do those in the right order.
If you blow your allowance at the mall right after you get it, that's spending. But after you finish spending, you'll have nothing to save or share.
You know the amount of your allowance.
And you know when you're going to get it.
So pay yourself first.
Which means, before you spend it, figure out how much you realistically need to save and put that money in a savings account.
Then set aside the amount that you want to share, like for a charity of your choice.
When you do those things, you're setting priorities with your allowance, and that will help you reach your short, medium, and long-term financial goals.
And it only takes a moment.
And when you're done figuring out how much you want to save and share, make sure you set aside a little something to... What are you doing?
I'm gonna spend this on some new shoes. You wanna go?
I'm so there.
Hey, Biz kids, saving your allowance will serve you well. We're twins. I'm older by 2 minutes, though. I get reminded of that a lot. We used to get weekly allowance, but we didn't know the significance and importance of money. So we decided that we should earn the money so that we felt as if we deserved it instead of just needing it. So the chores that we can do are babysitting, yard cleanup, raking leaves, like weeding, vacuuming rooms, shoveling snow, and that's pretty much it. Ethan really wanted an iPod, and I wanted some spending money. Jacqueline came to me with the idea that we could start a camp. I said, oh, why don't I teach tennis? Well, you can teach art. I was in charge of the camp. You can settle for co-directors. Co-directors. You're both equal 50-50 co-directors. Sure. I did all of the planning, the emails, the forms. The profit's 50-50, right? Yeah, 50-50. So we're co-directors. Ethan was the tennis instructor and only that. I thought it was pretty fun. I really enjoyed having the kids over. It was very fun for me because some of the tennis drills we had. One hand, Lucy, remember, one hand. I could also enjoy it too. I think it makes a lot of sense to just earn your money because it teaches you the values of money and the hard work that you have to do when you grow older. It definitely taught us lessons in how to save our money well. I think that allowance really helps teach the importance of money. We were able to figure out a budget for art supplies, which we probably wouldn't have done if we were just given allowance. I just like to have half the money I earn in my wallet so I can give to charity, buy things I want, buy things for other people, and the other half goes into my bank account. I put some in my wallet, some in my piggy bank, and some in my bank account. Once your allowance is gone, it's game over. You're supposed to fall.
From the creators who brought you Attack of the Inflation Chicken and Talking Dog Detective comes an old hero, a really old hero, a hero who saved zero of his allowance. Now, when crime hits the streets, the city calls someone they know is desperate.
Get me Retirement.
Retire Man. A crime fighter who blew his allowance as a kid, never learning to budget, spending all his cash on fancy uniforms.
I'm 76 years old.
He never learned to save, and now he still has to work.
And I can't get up.
See Retire Man. Coming to a theater near you. This film has not yet been rated.
Hey, do you have an allowance?
Yeah.
You really do?
You don't believe me?
Well, no. You never come in here with new stuff you've bought. You're never at the mall. You never go to the movies like a lot of other kids.
Well, that's because I save most of my allowance.
You put your allowance in a savings account?
Sure. I mean, spending is easy, but saving's a little bit harder. So I had my parents help me set up a savings account, and I make a deposit every week.
So you were able to build up a savings account just on your allowance?
Definitely. Don't get me wrong, I spend a little bit too, but I'm saving up for a car and for college, so most of it goes into savings.
I guess that's what allowance is for, learning how to manage your own money.
Right.
And savings is a big part of that.
Exactly.
Okay, well, want to go to the mall with me and spend some money?
No.
Just a little bit?
No.
Just like this much. Just this much.
No, because I'm trying to save this much. But I'll tell you what, I'll go to the mall with you and I'll watch you spend while I continue to save.
That doesn't sound like very much fun.
Well, I'm guessing your savings is about this much. Just this much.
That is so much.
That's all you have. This much.
My dad gives me an allowance, but it's never enough.
Have you ever thought of setting up a budget?
What's a budget? All I know is that my dad gives me money. I spend it and I need more.
Stella, an allowance is there to help you manage your money. If you can't make a budget, then we can never be together.
No, I want to be with you, Edward. I just don't want to make a budget. I don't even know how.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
You will?
Yes, just don't forget werewolf repellent.
Okay. What else goes in a budget?
Well, food, clothing, entertainment, transportation.
Like a motorcycle.
Maybe not a motorcycle.
Believe it or not, the allowance you get, if you get one, right, the allowance you get, if you get one, is part of your family budget.
Every family has a budget, but many don't talk about it.
Does your family talk about money?
You know, there was a time when it was taboo to have a family discussion about money.
Yeah, people used to think that money and family budgets were too much for kids to understand.
Today we know that kids that are a part of a family discussion on money and budgets and allowances and all that tend to do better in the long run.
How much better?
Well...
Whoa. So talk to your family about the budget and your allowance.
Pretty soon, maybe you'll see how you can make the most of all the family's money.
Now that I've talked to my family about a budget, I can't believe what they're paying in allowances for me and my 7 brothers.
Maybe you should offer to cut your allowance.
Let me think about that for a second. No.
We are the Curves and we talk about money.
Okay guys, so this is what we're looking at this month. Things are gonna be tight, so I just want everyone to be aware that we have this much going out in the bills, We have this much money coming in. We talk about money frequently, looking at the bills and seeing how much things cost. We just have made it an open discussion. My sister and I, we both live here. She has her daughter and I have my 3 kids, and it takes both of us to provide for them the way they need to be provided for.
I understand my family's money situation, so if something I want, really isn't that necessary, I won't ask for it.
The allowances in our family are based on jobs completed. When I come into the house and I see the dishes need to be done, okay, dishes need to be done, and then whenever I have the money, I can pay them the allowance. We've had really hard times as a family. Moon Jar has helped us take the emotion out of money.
Hey, Biz Kid, use a Moon Jar.
A Moon Jar is a money box that has 3 different compartments: spend, share, and save.
I have $1.26 for sharing, $2 for saving, $1.25 for spending. I'm saving up for a family vacation.
Moon Jar has helped me start saving because I never used to save my money before, but put my money in the Moon Jar, don't blow it.
When I had a normal piggy bank, all the money that was going in was going to whatever I wanted and whatever I wanted to spend it on. So having a Moon Jar forces me to make a decision. I have the option to save and to share and to spend. And it makes me feel better knowing that I'm also sharing and saving rather than just blowing all my money on one thing.
I am really proud of them. They're a lot more savvy than I was growing up. And I do think Moon Jar is part of that.
Even though we're young, we still have to learn how to use our money and use it effectively.
Talk about money in your family.
This is easy.
See? You can budget. And now maybe you can live within your means and we can be together.
Oh, Nedward, bite me.
Would you knock it off with the bite me already? We've talked about this.
But it's really important to me.
I understand that.
Lady, gentlemen, thank you for being here. Carlo, my eldest son, but all of you are key members of my crime family.
Wait, so they're my brother and sister?
No, not literally, you moron. I mean, everyone in this room has proven that they are a valuable member of my business family.
And we are all committed to this family, ain't we?
Yeah, definitely. We're in.
We're with you, boss.
Even though they're not really my brother and sister.
Stay with me, Carlo. All right, I have an announcement to make. The finances from the last year of our family's various, we'll call them enterprises, are very big. And so, all of the members of our family will be getting an allowance.
Outstanding.
Excellent.
Thanks, boss.
So wait, we get an allowance for being a part of the family. So does this mean I don't have to take out the garbage anymore?
I'm the godfather. You're all in my family, but I'm actually your father. Yes, you need to do your chores if you want your allowance.
But
Now look, I know we are breaking tradition here, but I think we need to start discussing our family's finances openly.
Whoa.
The way I see it, I could be whacked tomorrow. And then where would yous be? You don't know nothing about money. And so, I think it's time we start discussing our family's finances once a week, so yous can take over one day.
Well, that's great, Dad, but what about that garbage?
Carlo?
Yeah. Carlo, would you mind? It's kind of stinky.
Yeah, it's a little, ripe.
Or do I need to make you an offer you can't refuse? Refuse is a garbage term. That's all, thank you.
Welcome to the Bank of Buford.
Every kid has a different way of managing their money, but I manage mine through a virtual banking program called FAMZoo.
FAMZoo is a virtual family bank. It basically takes an age-old tradition of parents giving their kids a weekly or monthly allowance and places it on technology that kids in particular are very familiar with today, laptops, cell phones.
Every week I get an allowance from my parents that I can manage through FAMZoo.
The allowance gets divided into 3 accounts: a general spending account, which is their money they can do with what they want; a long-term savings account, where we as parents have a little more control over what happens to that; and then a charitable giving account, where as a family, we can make a decision at some point every year or multiple points during the year where they're going to, donate that money.
Since this is a virtual banking program, I can afford to make mistakes without severe consequences. For my birthday, I really wanted a MacBook.
Well, if she really wanted this MacBook, we would allow her to make that purchase, and we would loan her what she needed, but then she would have to pay it back over time through her general spending account or her gifts account.
So I used birthday money that I got from my friends and relatives, and then I saved by dog sitting and babysitting, and I would get $10 for every classic book I read. So by the end of the summer, I babysat enough and read enough books where I could pay it off. Well, I bought things that I didn't really need or I didn't use when I was younger, little toys. And I never used the toys, or I'd buy a shirt that I never wear. So it was just a waste of money.
Evan, his interests are, boogie boarding at the beach, surfing, and eating. He's a tall, big kid.
Every week, I get my allowance from my parents through FamZoo.
What he tends to use his general spending account for is taking himself out to lunch on a weekend.
The main objective of FamZoo is learning how to balance your allowance.
Spend, save, share. Woohoo!
That's right, Jimmy.
Well, Siegfried, you've got us tied to this pole and you're about to destroy the world. The least you can do is tell us why.
Yes, Siegfried, why are you so evil?
I do it for the money.
Duh! But didn't you have a dream? Something else you wanted to do?
Of course there was. I wanted to be a dancer.
Oh, Siegfried, why didn't you go into that?
Well, the answer is simple. My parents never talked about money, and I was never given an allowance.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. So sad. As a result, I am horrible at managing my own money. I can save, I can share, but I can spend. And I spent it all. I am broke. But then I learned how to blackmail. So I'm gonna go blow up the world unless I get $1 trillion.
Oh, if only you'd received an allowance.
Then you could have saved up for dance class.
I don't want your pay. No more pay. I can dance perfectly fine. You see? I swing. You see this? Swing. I dance backwards.
There's a lot of things. What's that?
Oh, well, every other month or so, I'll donate my allowance to charity. And this month, I wanted to see if anybody else wanted to pitch in.
You donate your allowance? No way.
Oh, yeah, way. There are a lot of really cool charities right around here. Animal relief, disaster relief, feeding the homeless, some really cool stuff.
And you give your allowance then?
Well, not all of it, like a third. I give what I can afford. Some people give more, some people give less. It's really up to the individual what they want to do. So every 2-3 times a year, I'll pick a charity I really like and give some money.
You know, that's not a bad idea. I just got my allowance this morning. I think I'm gonna start doing that.
Very cool.
Me too.
Me 3.
Hi, my name is Sydney. I'm a face painter and a balloon artist and a biz kid. I get allowance for doing chores around the house. I make a total of $8 a week. I put $2 into my save bank, $5 into my spare money, and $1 into the SPCA. Having an allowance helps me learn financial responsibility, and that makes me a biz kid. I love animals. This is my donation to the ASPCA. Sharing is important because some people have more an advantage than others. It's important to save your money so whenever you need something, you can buy it. I bought this iPod Touch with my savings. I began saving in about the 2nd grade, and it makes me feel good to have spare money and save up for something that I want. This is my savings journal. I use it for when I add money to my account or when I spend money. I think I'm good at drawing, so I decided I wanted to try it on faces. Look what I got! Look what I got! Look what I got! I learned how to do balloon animals a couple years after that. My dad gave me a book for my birthday on making balloon animals, and I got so interested that I looked on the internet and found out how to do more. Biz Kids! I earn money doing these things by working at parties for kids my age and younger. I make $8 an hour, but it depends on how many kids are there. If there's too many, then I raise the price and also have a helper. More syrup cuts into my profit margin. This is my business card. I make money and have fun at the same time. Ice cold lemonade! best part of earning money is that I'm able to share. I'm doing this to help the animals.
Hey, Biz Kids! Saving your money makes sense.
And now, another chapter of Dear Diary.
Dear Diary, today I asked for an increase in my allowance from the gracious Lady Kensington, but she declined my request. No more delicious silkhosen for me.
You die now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
And now it's time for another Biz Kids Biz Quiz. An allowance allows you to A. Spend, B. Save, C. Share, D. All of the above. You know, I never got an allowance. My parents didn't believe in it. Thought I'd blow it all on candy or something. But I gotta tell you, now I know the value of money. The whole experience made me tougher. Now I'm strong, like bullets.
Many kids get an allowance. Some for doing chores and others for just being a part of the family.
And many get no allowance at all.
Whatever the reason and whatever the amount you get, the main point of an allowance is to help you learn how to handle money.
You can spend it. You can save it. And you can share it. Whatever. An allowance is your chance to practice working with a limited amount of money.
And your allowance is part of a bigger picture.
It comes from your household budget, just like your food, electricity, cable, and phone bills. Your parents normally make a household budget.
They're spending, saving, and sharing.
So talk to your parents. Get advice.
Once you get the hang of it, the financial lessons you'll learn with an allowance will help you out for the rest of your life.
You know, I think I could double my allowance.
After everything we just said?
Place your bets.
I'm putting everything on black. Double your allowance.
An allowance also allows you to fail.
Well, at least I get my allowance again next week. Hey, can I borrow some money for lunch this week?
No way.
Whatever, loser.
Anybody? How about you?
Na 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 na, you spent it all in one day. You had a week left, but it's all gone away. Oh no, no, no.
This much. Just this much. Just little bitty savings. Here we are. Just little bitty.
Biz Kids, talk about money and finances with your family.
Who's he talking to?
The camera. Higher.
Whoa.
There, yes. Hello.
Where you guys come from?
There's a camera crew in here. Oh my gosh. And jazz hands.
Quit it.
Need some more bites of biz? Check out our website. If you have your own business, we'd love to hear about it. Plus, we have resources that can help you. Just click on bizkids.com and let's get down to business. Some Biz Kids business.
Production funding and educational outreach for Biz Kids is provided by a coalition of America's credit unions, where people are worth more than money. A complete list of individual credit union funders is available at wxxi.org.
Every day, America's credit unions help members with their financial needs, and with programs like Invest in America. It's only fitting that credit unions support Biz Kids because financial education is what we do. Learn more at lovemycreditunion.org.